Today I'm going to talk about horses that have trouble backing, procedures I go through to soften them up to get them better to back. When I first get on my horse, I'll ask him just to drop his head. I'll just hold my hands just brace, just ask him to get nice and soft in my hands. Before I ever want to get him to back, I want to get him so he's nice and soft. I want to come off that pressure in his mouth. And then once I get him to that stage, I'll actually get him nice and soft. I'll rock my body back into position 3, push on my feet, and just ask for a step or two, just to get him wanting to come back off that pressure. And I'll build on that. And the moment they give me any little change, I'll give relief when I'm first starting them. If they're still having struggle trying to pick up those feet, moving them back, sometimes they'll get stiff in the front feet and they don't want to move, their head's in the air, I'll get a sag in their back. So then I'll go to changing the way I back my horse. And how I do that is I want to get the front feet moving. If they get stuck in the ground, they don't want to move. So I'll bend the head to the left to start with. I'll press with my inside leg, get him to move his hindquarter a little bit, then I'll sit back and pull on my other rein a little bit. And with the outside leg, just ask him to come back just a step or two, either side, and then I'll do that the same the other side. I'll bend his head to the right, press with my right leg, then my outside rein, and outside leg just nice and gently, and ask him to come back a step. Any sort of change to start with, just to get those front feet moving, and then I'll go back to just dropping the head, pushing on my feet, and asking those feet to come back nice and softly. Because most of the time why a horse don't want to back is he'll get stiff in the front feet and they don't want to move. They kind of lock up, and it's normally when the head comes up. So we've got to get the front feet moving. So we've got to do any sort of thing we can to get that to change, but we don't want to try and do it with their head in the air. So I want to have them nice and soft through my hands, bend. I'll put a little bit inside pressure with my leg to move, and then just a little bit of outside, even if it's only half a step to start with. Then you can build on that. It makes those front feet move. And then once the front feet start to move, then you can go back and ask for straight by pushing on your feet and just lifting your hands back. And as soon as he comes back off that pressure, sit up in the saddle to give that relief. And they'll get softer and softer the more you do of it. And they'll get that way where they get enjoyable to ride instead of fighting with your horse the whole time. Where I'm actually sitting here is what I call the center of my horse. When I go back to position 3, I'll bend into my belly to rock my hips down into the back of my saddle. So when I get down into that position, I'll push on my feet and just lift my hands up. And then the moment he comes back, I sit up to give him a relief with my seat position, just tell him to stop, just to get him started. So then it's not how far we can back the first time, it's just giving him any sort of change, any sort of relief to come back. So that's a good reward for him. And then we can build on it and ask for a little more. Now I've asked for 3 or 4 steps, then sit back up, and she's been nice and soft in my hands. And that's something that you can build on over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight, but just keep practicing these things. And actually horses that are hard in the mouth, they will actually get softer because they learn to come off that pressure in the bit. So the more they come off that pressure in the mouth, when you put a little bit of pressure on there with you using your body, they will get softer and softer. If I go to backing this horse the whole time and just stay in position 3, she'll back for a while. She's starting to want to fight me there a little bit now. So when she starts to want to fight me, I can feel that resistance in my hands. She's not getting no relief. So if I want to keep her going further without getting resistance, I've got to get her a relief somewhere. So I'll often give her with my seat position. So I'll start off giving her a couple of steps, sit up before she stops, I'll come back down again, sit up, come back down again, and then sit up and wait for her to stop. But she did have relief through my seat position, so she was getting some sort of reward. If they don't get any sort of reward, the horse says, well, why should I do it? whole time when we do all this stuff, we want them in a calm, relaxed frame of mind. We don't want them scared or frightened. So we work on it, keeping them nice and calm and relaxed, but really responsive.